wall are. I have a 12, a 3, 6, and a 9. Any guesses? Garrett?
3, 6, 9, 12.
Okay, what do they stand for?
No idea.
No idea, Brooke?
They're multiples.
They are multiples. Kaylee? They're for a game. But what do the numbers represent? Camden?
They're counting by 3.
Counting by 3s. Multiples of 3. Gabby?
A clock.
A clock. That is what I'm looking for. A clock.
12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Very good.
See, look at the clock. See, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Very good.
Like if you look this.
You are in a clock. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a game.
It's 3 o'clock.
And I'm going to explain it and then we'll play. But what you do is you're going to stand up, not right now, but you're going to stand up and put out your right hand and point to the 12, like you're the minute hand. And I'm going to tell you how much to turn or rotate. And you're pushing your chairs. All right, go ahead and put out your right pointer finger. Straight up like you're at 12 o'clock. That's okay, you can put 2 out. I know one's broken. All right, now make a half turn clockwise. A clock is what shape?
A circle.
A circle. Does anyone know how many degrees are in a circle?
150. 60.
Close. That's how many minutes there are in an hour. How many degrees, Tristan? 360. Now, if you look at the different times, do you have any idea what degrees 12 would be? Any idea what that would be? What would 12 o'clock be? How many degrees would that be? Any idea if that's the start of my circle or the end of my circle? 0. Or if I made my full turn, what would it be? 360. Good, Gabby. So we're going to tape this up here. Does anyone have any idea what 3 o'clock would be? How many degrees would this be? Michael? Not all clocks are circles. Sometimes you have weird shaped circles. But the clocks we have in school
Our circle.
are circle. Anthony, how many degrees would this be? 90. Does anyone know what we call an angle that's 90 degrees? Max, any idea what we call an angle that's 90 degrees?
Half.
Close. Caleb?
Was it obtuse?
No. Exactly 90 degrees. We put a little square in it. Karen?
Angle. No.
What kind of angle?
Right angle.
Right angle. Good. Okay, so we're going to tape 90 degrees up here. Does anyone know what an angle smaller than 90 degrees is called? Grace? Very good. All right. Now I'm going to go around. I'm going to go to 6. What kind of angle would this be? From 12, so we have 0 to 90 to, what would it be? Tristan? Huh? Prime angle? Not exactly. How many degrees, I'm asking? Garrett?
180 degrees.
180 degrees. What kind of angle is this called? Max?
An obtuse.
It is obtuse, but there's a special name for 180 degrees. Max?
Half turn.
It is a half turn. I'm looking for straight angle because it makes a straight line. Alright, now 9 o'clock. Any idea what 9 o'clock would be? Andrew?
200.
And we're going to add 90 degrees to that, to 180. 70. 270. Very good. So we're going to tape that up here. What do you think we are talking about? If you look at page 152, we talked about a clock and we talked about degrees. What are we going to be learning about today? Any ideas? I know Gabby knows. Does anyone else know? Max knows.
Clock angles.
Kaylee, what'd you say?
Clock angles.
Clock angles. We're going to be talking about angles, but we're going to compare them to the angles we see on a clock. So, I think you have 4 answers for that page already. If you look around the room, what would our 12 o'clock be that you see on your page? Bobby? 360 or 0, because it's our starting point and our ending point. So, if you look, 12 o'clock, we're going to be putting in degrees, and that's 360. Does anyone have any idea what 3 o'clock will be? Karen? 90, which is what kind of angle? Who can remind me? What kind of angle is 90 degrees? North?
A right angle.
Right angle, good. Elise, you had your hand up. How about you tell me what 6 o'clock would be? How many degrees will that be?
180.
180. And what kind of angle does that make? Kaylee? Obtuse, but there's another name for it too. Maddie?
Straight.
Straight angle. And why is it a straight angle? Brooke? It's a straight line. Very good. Any ideas what 9 o'clock would be? Max?
270.
270 degrees. Now, if you... 9 o'clock. Good. I think you already had that on your page. If you look at this, there's 3 different length marks. 3 different lengths. How many degrees do you think are the large marks, the longest marks? How many degrees do you think it represents? Yeah, the long ones. There's, you already marked 360 or 0, you marked 90. What are these counting by or going up by? Garrett?
90.
Well, you have 2 in between, remember. So you went from 0 to 90, but there's 2 more spots.
Oh.
Blair?
3.
Add a 0 to it.
30.
30. So from one long mark to the next long mark is 30 degrees. So does anyone have any idea what 1 o'clock would be?
Oh.
How many degrees would that be? 30, right, Chloe? How about 2 o'clock? Any ideas? Camden? 60. And we already have 3. What about 4 o'clock?
Oh. 120.
120, very good. And 5, Garrett?
150.
50. I want you guys to go ahead and try and fill in the rest on your own. And all you're doing, what is the pattern? Who can remind me what the pattern is? Michael? 530. So I add 30 each time I go up. So go ahead and fill those out. We'll see. Now, I brought a big clock in. Does this remind you of like kindergarten, second, first grade? Okay, so we can look at our angles. We can look at, let's
Never
see.
get these things.
We have our different things. So let's see. We have, what time is this? Chelsea? And what kind of angle is that? Garrett?
It's a 90-degree angle.
90 degrees.
It is a right angle.
And it's our Well, it fell over.
Those things, I don't understand them because they have the machine inside of them.
They make them move.
Whoa.
All right. So we figured out what the longest mark is. Does anyone have any idea what the shortest mark is? What would the shortest length line represent in here? Any ideas? Caleb? Seconds. Well, we're working on degrees now. Our shortest mark on the clock is seconds. Any ideas, Anthony? Forgot? Kaylee? No. It's going to be small, very, very small. What's the smallest number you can think of that would fit in there? Chloe? 1 degree. So I want you, next to your first tiny little mark, I want you to draw an arrow and write 1 degree.
Where? This way.
Right at the top of
Right here.
your clock, the first shortest line.
Then like millimeter.
Yeah, like it looks like a millimeter, is 1 degree. Right next to 360. Right next to 160, the littlest line right next to it is 1 degree. So, does anyone idea how many short lines there are in this whole thing?
Oh, I got this.
Everyone should know. Hang on, I'm waiting. Don't blurt out the answer. Grace? 360. Very good, because there's 360 degrees. Okay, so we figured out our long marks. We figured out our long marks. We figured out our short marks. Any idea what our middle-sized marks? They're kind of in between. Garrett?
5 degrees.
5 degrees.
Katie?
Yes.
Hi, could you pick up?
5 degrees. Very good. And I want you to mark the first middle-sized line is 5 degrees. So the first middle-sized one is 5 degrees. I want to come around and see if everyone has that. Good. Now, does anyone have any idea what you guys just made? How do we measure angles? Does anyone know how we measure angles or what we measure them with? No, we don't use a ruler. That's how we measure lines. Kenzie?
A clock, maybe? I think I know.
A clock you can use to compare. Brooke?
One of those things that we used to make those circles?
To make the circles. What you guys just made, see if I can find mine, is